Hello, a couple reading updates. It is July 31st. It is Harry Potter's birthday, which is why I have this Harry Potter shirt on. If you can even see it, it's not important. I am reading Order of the Phoenix, about 200 pages in. I am loving that, obviously. I will be trying to finish this Harry Potter rereadathon vlog thing by the end of August? Can I do that? I don't know. I also finished my audiobook, what was it called? The Boyfriend Project, and I didn't really like it. And I have been on such a good roll. I have loved almost every romance book I have read lately, like this summer, but this one, it just wasn't very good. I liked the characters, but I didn't like the setting, I think. I don't know. So the main character, I've already forgotten her name. She was so focused on developing this app. I never understood what the app was about, what it was for. It didn't make any sense to me. She worked at this tech company and they talked about all these different projects, didn't understand any of them, and it was boring. And then the main guy character, whose name I have also forgotten, he was working at this tech company, but he was an undercover government agent, and you just lost me there. I don't know what it was. You would think I would like that idea because, like, I love Criminal Minds. Those are government agents. But, like, it was so weird and just felt so misplaced in this story. And he wasn't even, like, I didn't understand what he was investigating either. He was investigating some sort of bad money scandal thing in the company that was like someone in the company doing bad things. They kept using the word laundering. I never Googled what that meant. I don't know what it means. It was not a good one for me. The relationship felt forced. There wasn't a lot of chemistry. The steamy scenes were boring. Like, I just didn't like it, and I really wanted to love it because I feel like everyone else has loved it, but I did not like it. I gave it a 2.5 stars, and I rounded it up to 3 on Goodreads because I'm nice and wanted to give the author 3 stars. I've got 2 audiobooks left on my Libby renting right now, and the first one I started is The Trouble with Hating You by Sajini Patel, which I'm only 13% in, so I don't have a whole lot of thoughts, but it started with this character whose name I have forgotten. I'm the worst with names. I can be reading a book, like, I can even be physically reading a book and I will forget characters' names. It is about this woman who is very successful. She is very independent. She lives on her own, and this really goes against a lot of the cultural things that she was brought up with. She comes from a more traditional Indian family. Her parents are trying to set her up with a husband, and she does not want that. And when she goes to a dinner at her parents' house and they spring it on her that they have a possible husband coming to meet her, she literally runs out the back door and leaves. And I kind of loved that for her. It was a little rude, but, like, it was funny. And I will say, though, I'm only 13% in, so I don't want to pass too much judgment at this point, but it's going to be like a hate to love story. So he has ended up at her work as a lawyer that is working with the company she's at, and their, like, hate to love banter feels really forced at this point. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, if it's just those first, like, 3 chapters that were, like, a little rough, but it definitely was. I was like, no one talks like this. And, like, she was getting angry. I'm like, you need to calm down. And the character said that, he said that, and she's like, don't tell me to calm down. I'm like, but you need to calm down. He was being nice and you were throwing a fit. And, like, he needed to calm down too. It was just a lot of, I don't know, just annoying dialogue. But past that, I'm interested to see where this story goes. One thing I will say, if this book does not end with the main character's parents separating or something, I'm gonna be really mad. Or, like, so the dad of the main character, there's a line between being, like, culturally different, like just having different cultural values. I get that. But he was so sexist and so abusive to, like, emotionally abusive to his wife and to his daughter, for that matter. If he does not really learn his lesson and apologize to these women by the end of the book, or if they do not drop his ass and get out of their lives, I'm gonna have to, like, really not like this book. Which I think, because the main character is such a progressive feminist, female, like totally independent type of woman. I feel like that will be something that comes up towards the end. Like I definitely think there will be fights with the father that will lead to hopefully some growth. But like if it doesn't, I would have to give this book, like straight up, I'd have to give it a 1 star. And I'm just saying that now. I hope it doesn't have to be like that. I do not give 1 stars out, like hardly ever. But like the things that this father was saying in like the first chapter, I wanted to scream. And he needs to change his tune by the end of the book, or this is gonna be a huge no-go for me. Another reading update, I'm also reading the Twilight Illustrated like official guide thing. It's over there, but I'm not gonna get up and go get it. It's great. I've read it before, years ago. It's just the fun little, like, all the backstories and explaining the Volturi, explaining all the different Cullens, explaining a lot of different, like, lore of how Stephanie's vampires work and how her werewolves work, the research she's done. She had an interview in the beginning, Shannon Hale. I love it. I would like to finish that this weekend as well. I want to finish it at least before Midnight Sun. And I'm having a great time with that. Who doesn't love more Twilight content? So that is my reading update, and I will update you later, hopefully when I've made progress in my audiobook or the Twilight book or something. I don't know. Reading update. It is Monday, August 3rd. I am, let's see, 27% into The Trouble with Hating You. I still don't know how I feel about it. I like the guy character, and I don't hate the girl character. I don't know their names. The girl is, I like the idea of her, but she's just very abrasive. And I don't know if I like her personality. I'm gonna keep listening, but if I'm not enjoying it a little bit more by maybe like halfway, I might DNF it. I don't know. I've been listening to it for a while this morning and I don't hate it. I just don't see the point of it very much. I don't know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna keep listening and I'll let you know if my opinions change. I really want to like it. The scene that just happened, I did actually like. She had gone on a date with someone else and it ended badly, and she's walking to a diner so she can use their phone, and she breaks her shoe and like falls, and he happens to be at this diner and he offers her a ride home and stuff, and he helps her like up to her apartment and stuff because she twisted her ankle, and I liked that. That was the first time that they weren't yelling at each other. I like a hate to love story, but these two are like needlessly hating each other. Like there's no reason for the way that they are acting in other scenes. Like this scene was okay, but I feel like their hate part of their love story is just so misplaced. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Also, the dad is still being the dad and I still hate him. And I'm serious, if that part of the story is not resolved by the end of the book, this will get like a 1 star. That being said, I do think that it will be addressed, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to go read a little bit more, and I'm going to try and finish this today because Midnight Sun comes out tomorrow and I want to have all my focus on that. But I am going to go keep reading this audiobook because I would like to finish it today, and I still have one more audiobook on my library app that is due in like
less than a week or a week or so, so I need to start that too. So I will go ahead and go do some listening and I will update you later.
Hello, it is still Monday, but I thought I would do a little update of a Target haul because I went to Target today because I needed some new pants and shorts because nothing I have fits. So I got this pair of jeans on clearance. I have never had a pair of Levi's before, but these are Levi's, and they were only on sale for $15. They're a little snug, so don't know if I'll return them or if I will keep them. I think if I wash them and like don't dry them, they'll fit better, and jeans always stretch out, and they're like a stretchier jean. Can't really see them all, but those are really cute. And then I literally don't own a pair of shorts that fit, so I got this pair. They're this like muted red color with like the paper, what do they call that, like a paper bag waist, paper something, paper boy, whatever. I don't do fashion obviously, but these are super cute. They're like high-waisted, so they'd go really cute with like a half shirt, like a cropped shirt, and they have an elastic waistband, which I think makes them a lot more comfortable, so I really like these. These were not on clearance. I do not often buy stuff that is not on clearance, but I really liked those. And then, not as exciting, but they have 5 for $20 underwear, so I got stuff. I just really like these because they've got like this witchy pattern on it, and you know, gotta advertise that you're a witch, right? And then these black, that coral color, and just like plain. And then, because I have no self-control, I also got 2 books, and they both have ugly stickers on them that I need to take off, but I got these 2. So this is The Duke I Once Knew by Olivia Drake. I have heard of this author and I've heard good things. I picked this up because it was about this girl. Her name is Abigail, and she has spent her whole life caring for her family, her parents, and her siblings' children. So she's like a governess, caregiver type of person, and she gets a official position as a governess at an estate, and she's been doing it, and apparently the Duke of Rothwell, Maxwell Bryce, who is in charge of the estate, he is who broke her heart years ago. He has not set foot on the estate in 15 years, and I'm guessing 15 years ago is when he broke her heart? I don't know. And he comes back, and there's a second chance romance sort of in that situation. It was on clearance for only $4, so I bought it. That is the cover. No step back, very sadly. And then I also got The Highland Renegade by Amy Jarecki. I picked this one up because I have read a book by Amy Jarecki and I really liked it. There was another book there by Loretta James, I think her name is. That might be wrong. This sticker is not being as cooperative. I thought about buying that one because it looked really good, but I really liked the Amy Jarecki book that I read before. It was the first historical romance that I read, so I thought I would give another one of her books a try. I don't know if this maybe is following characters from the Highland Guardian, but I wouldn't remember those characters anyway because it was so long ago. I read the Highland Guardian. I read this one. So I'm excited to read this. They were $4 each. I'm just going to add them to my obnoxiously large historical romance pile and hopefully read these pretty soon. Hello, a reading update. It is Tuesday now. It is Midnight Sun release day, so I'm just sitting here waiting for that. But I do have a reading update. I finished The Trouble with Hating You yesterday, the audiobook, and I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars, and honestly that feels like a generous 2 out of 5 stars. I don't know. I didn't like it. One, was pretty bored the whole time. There was no subplot. It was just the romance. And like there were aspects of each character that could have been a more developed subplot, or even they could have just come up with something else, but there was nothing that was like supplemental to their love story. And I say love story real loosely. They didn't feel like a love story. The dialogue between them was so, I don't know, cheesy, I guess, but it wasn't even that cheesy. They always were talking about how much they hated each other, and like their dialogue of their banter just wasn't for me. And then like I have said in my multiple updates about this book, my biggest problem was her dad and how incredibly sexist he was, and frankly that was not resolved in a way that I think was well enough addressed. So, and I know I said I would like DNF it or give it a 1 star if it wasn't addressed, but it was to a degree. Like they have this big confrontation at the end. And by the way, I don't think I've said it in my reading vlog, but there's definitely a trigger warning for sexual assault, molestation, like underage especially. No scene is really explicitly described, but there is definitely references to it, and there is a lot of PTSD sort of discussion around it. So if that's something you do not want to read, I definitely don't recommend this book because it is the integral part of the plot. It is the plot. So there's this big confrontation at the end where she is, you know, talking about the person who molested her when she was younger, and again the father refuses to take his own daughter's side. He is siding with the attacker instead of with the victim, who is his daughter. And it'd be one thing if that's like where he started and then he learned his lesson by the end, or if he just had any ounce of humanity shown by the end, I maybe could have been satisfied, but there was nothing. And even then, fine, if he's gonna just be painted that villain, because that's what he is in my eyes, that'd be one thing. If then the daughter and the mom got out of his life, but even then, like, the daughter definitely separated herself, and I don't think she's ever gonna speak to him again. But the mom is still there, and like the mom sort of stood up for her at the end, but still, like, it was just so frustrating. And that's not to say this is not a situation that could happen in real life. I totally could see that a father taking that side and not believing the victim, but because that happens all the time. But it was just so frustrating to read. And in fiction, I feel like we have the chance to show what should be, and it just wasn't what happened. And the writing style of it was just so frustrating to me. I hated the dad. I didn't even really like Leah. She was frustrating. She was so negative about everything. She would fight with people just to fight with them, and I don't understand that. It's one thing to have funny banter, but she would push buttons of others just because she could, and she refused help all the time. Like, on little things, she's like, I can do it, I'm an independent woman. I'm like, that's great. He offered to help you carry a giant box. Like, just take it and calm down. She was just so frustrating to me. The reason though this book still did get 2 stars is, one, I managed to finish it, so it wasn't bad enough that I had to DNF. I probably could have DNF'd it and never thought about this book again though. And then I did really like the writing of Jay and his family dynamic. I think if this had just been a story about Jay and falling in love with someone else, that would have been good. I really liked him, but she drove me insane. Her father was terrible, and it just was not a super well-written book. Take a hint, Dani Brown is the next audiobook that came in on my holds, so I have much higher expectations for that one. I really liked Chloe Brown. Like, it was a solid 4, maybe even 5 stars. I don't remember what I rated it. So I think this one is going to be very good. The premise of it, I think, is even more interesting than Chloe Brown, so I'm very excited. This one is about Dani Brown. She is a professor, I believe, and she didn't get this email about how they were having a fire drill type of thing, and she gets stuck somewhere, and the security guard like carries her out of this fire drill thing, and someone takes a video of this and it kind of goes viral, so they decide to start fake dating for publicity. I don't really know how it helps her, but it helps him because he has this business where he like uses fighting to help like boys and young men work through their emotions, I think. So that's just all of what I've gathered from the many people I've seen read this already. So I'm very excited to get started on that one. I'm gonna be honest, it'll be a hot minute before I do, because it's Midnight Sunday and I'm not doing anything until I have finished Midnight Sun. So I will update you eventually when I am reading Take a Hint, Dani Brown. Hello, a reading update. It is Friday now. I've spent the last couple days reading Midnight Sun. Obviously, I loved it. I did a separate reading vlog for that one, and it is actually already up, so I will link it down below if you're interested in that. As for a reading update, I have just started a couple books, but I also just finished the Twilight Saga official illustrated guide. This was super fun. This was a reread, but I hadn't picked up this one in, God, probably like 10 years. This one was so much fun to just look into all the different histories of the characters and of where Stephanie got all these ideas. It was a really fun thing, and there's some beautiful illustrations in here as well. So I really loved reading this. The next audiobook I am picking up is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. Like I said in my last update, I started that today. I am 5% in, like barely started it. It's interesting so far. Nothing's happened, but I did like this moment where Zaf, I think his name is, he was listening to a romance audiobook and accidentally pressed play out loud in front of Dani, and it was like a steamy scene, and he got so embarrassed, and I just thought that was so funny. And the other book that I am starting is the third book in the Uptown Girls series by Joanna Shupe. It came in as a library hold, and I am so excited. I think that The Devil in Downtown, Devil of Downtown, something like that, and I'm very excited to be reading that. I have it on my Kindle, and I will be starting that hopefully today. Other than that, those are my reading updates. I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually close this vlog out early so I have time to edit it, and I also go back to school in 2 days, and I have yet to pack a single thing, so I need to focus on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out early, but I hope you liked this reading vlog, even though it was pretty short and I feel like I didn't read a lot in it, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I upload reading vlogs every other week and do some other booktube content as well, so like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!